Good morning, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, YouTube. So, just on the way out for a little bit of breakfast this morning, thought I'd nip down to the Super Sausage Cafe, which is always a bit of a win if you want a bacon roll, a cup of tea. So, heading down there, gotta get bacon roll and a cup of tea, I suppose. So, looking through the news this morning, and it's been obviously in the news quite a bit over the last few days, is the situation on the Korean Peninsula. So, obviously you've got Kim Jong Chunky, whatever his name is, has been doing small missile tests, which is of course frowned upon by the international community, and has successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile. That's quite a handful first thing in the morning. And it seems odd because normally their missile tests fail or just don't generally work very well, really tend to have a lot of problems. But this time, I've noticed it hasn't, and it's gone rather exceptionally well. And they're now saying that there is a possibility that the missile itself, at least, if not the warhead, has the capability reaching most, if not all, of the continental US. Let's not ride through that massive flood. So, the thing is, what I noticed with this is that they've been saying, they can't get a missile anywhere near the US, and then out of nowhere, suddenly they can hit the entire US. Some experts are claiming even as far as the eastern seaboard. Now, if that's true, it brings the question, have the previous missile tests been sandbagging? And if they have they been sandbagging on other things as well? Are we actually completely in the dark about North Korea's nuclear capabilities? And that's a little bit of a worry, because I don't think, I try and keep political views off the forums and off YouTube, because, well, there's 101 other places you can make enemies and influence people, so I tend to think of it as being a non-political platform. But I tend to think that if they are actually in a position where they are capable of launching an intercontinental missile, I think we need to start taking them seriously. They always say one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make is underestimating your enemies, and I think we're not just in the US, or for those of you in the US, but I think the entire international community is in danger of doing this, because we simply, the truth of the matter is, when it comes to North Korea, we simply do not know. There's a lot we don't know. So we don't know what they are capable of, we don't know what they aren't capable of, so it's almost like at this stage we should treat it as worst case scenario as being the only one that's actually accurate. So does this worry you? Obviously, if you're living in the US, you're quite close to where these missiles, anywhere in the US now, potentially you're where a North Korean missile could hit, and that's not good. That's not good for anyone. So my question is this: do you think they're sandbagging? Do you think we're underestimating them? Do you think they'll push the button anyway? If so, how do you think we'll respond to an all-out nuclear war? And that's a situation that no one's going to benefit from on any side of the fence. So this is probably one of the greatest times since the Cold War, when handling a situation diplomatically is important. It's very tempting to get some bravado and say, bring it on, push the button, what's going to happen? But there's just too much at stake. So where are we sat with this? Do you think we're on a real threat? I know what I think. I think we should all chill out, jump on a bike and go and get a bacon sandwich. They could cure everything. I also wonder if there's some validity in, rather than these world leaders using vast armies to wave at each other, just instead saying, look, just sit and lock it up in a room and don't come out till you've got a solution, because all that using armies does is endanger civilians, and it endangers the troops themselves. So I'm not convinced that it's a good way for anyone to go. And when you're talking nuclear war, there's a whole other, you might win, but what you've got left afterwards, you've got a smoking hole in the ground that no one can live in. Not really much of a win, is it? I don't think there's anyone that's going to win this situation. But there you go, let me know your thoughts. Do you think that North Korea is a very real and credible threat? Do you think they're just bluffing? Do you think this was a one-off lucky launch, or do you think they've got a lot more capability than we know about? One thing's for sure, we don't know what happens in North Korea, not factually. We don't know what happens, we don't know what threat they really pose. Hit like and subscribe button. I don't normally go into a political rant. I try to keep this fairly apolitical, but normally it's much more bike related things. So hit like and subscribe button and see you soon.